Pro Twins, 650 Pro Twins on there. There's 2 classes out in one, and we're in the starters orders, and lights are about to go out. We are away, and it's a great start. Dave Fellows on pole on the TR20 machine, so look out for him. He's on the modern Pro Twin, and he's been absolutely flawless so far this summer. 3 from 3 at Manfield and loving it. So he takes the advantage not only in the championship, he takes pole here and he takes the lead into turn 1. He's already got about 20 bike lengths as they go down the Waistco straight here for the first of 8 times. Our Pro Twin racing, we've got the 2 classes in there. We've got the Suzuki SV 650s. We've also got Bob Irving on a Action Sports Direct CF Moto machine. That's the bright green machine. He's in about 5th place, so he's qualified the fastest of the pre-2020 era Pro Twin racing. So we're going to have some great battles out there on track. But look at Dave Fellows, absolutely flying as he goes into Fulton Hogan. Made a real statement at Manfield and is going to carry on where he left off. He had a crash at Hampton Downs just before the summer season started with a broken wrist, so when he got to Manfield was just conscious of grabbing some championship points and ended up winning 3 out of 3. And now talking to him earlier this weekend, the wrist feels good and he feels good, so this is go time for Dave Fellows on the TR20 machine, and he'll be loving that. He's got competition in behind him. KIP Racing's Nick Southerwood, he'll be a factor here. We've got Benno Rosendale and all the others out there as well. So let's find out what we've got. We've got an interesting track. There's a dry line there, but there is still patches of dampness and surface water out there. So if someone's gone the gamble on the slick tyres, it'll certainly be a gamble, because if you get offline you'll be in big trouble. But definitely a dry track out the window here at 3:38 local time. So excitement building for Pro Twin racing. We've got Dave Fellows. It looks like Benno Rosendale in there behind him. So 2 different classes battling it out, and some excitement here. We also look to Bruce Telford in 3rd place ahead of Johnny Lewis in 4th. We've got Bob Irving there. That's 5th place for him. And then we go to Vaughan Main, Nick Southerwood, Jared Horn, Phil Munt, and Rob Edwards with Sean Parker, our 11th runner, 11th Pro Twins, 2 different classes, and excitement to the max at our round 3 of our New Zealand Superbike Championships.
Well, we took an opportunity before to contact Bob Irvine, because I thought this was an exceptional ride. Didn't actually know a lot about Bob, but it works out of Action Sports Direct, and he decided to take up an opportunity and shift to Wanaka. So he's just loving it down there. And shout out to JGI Workshop, and that's the mentor and the man behind the scenes as well. So a cool combo, and they've powered it with the CF Moto 650 just to be something a little different in our field. But these are guys that have decided to make something happen, and they came away as the top qualifier in our pre-2020 group. So I hope Bob can do it again. What a neat young guy, and really enjoying the fact that he's making his big-time debut to do the entire series. And now that he's here in Wanaka, he says, well, hold on, I can be at my back door, and he calls Teretonga his front door, actually, because as he says, it's just a cheap track to ride just down the road. So he's looking forward to next weekend as the 4th round of our championship to get excited about the chance to be in Teretonga. Right, Dave Fellows, Ben Rosendale, Bruce Telford from Johnny Lewis, and campaign names Bob Irvine, who we were just talking about there before on the Action Sports Direct machine, along with Vaughan Main, Nick Southerwood, Jared Horn, Phil Munt, long time promoter, not quite promoter, that's the wrong word, but he's been a promo man behind the 650 Pro Twin campaign. He was their Facebook cover man. He's just an all-round nice guy, been sort of a rider's rep kind of person, a good representative for the class, done a great job there. The ex-fire services man as well, loving it, along with Rob E. Edwards, because there is a Rob Edwards, so he's the Rob E. Edwards, and he's made a sort of a point of difference. Robert and Edwards, maybe if you went to a place in a population of 10 million or plus, you might get a few more double up with Christian names and surnames in the same sport, but in our smaller sport in New Zealand, he got 2 the same, so the point of difference with the Rob E. Edwards and Sean Parker making our lineup. And Brad, as we've looked to Pro Twins over the years, I'd say probably our field's shrinking down a little bit, and there was a chance that it could disintegrate, and that's why we've got that split now in those post-2020 model bikes. They're going to, obviously in a few years, I'm sure they'll all just be back as one, and we won't worry about the pre-2020s, as they'll be probably just moved to a club day bike rather than a championship bike, but still pretty competitive. Hey, when we look at our overall fields, and you look at people like SJ Cavell that have come out of this field, you look at also in 600s this weekend, Carl Hooper, a Pro Twin man as well, so it has been a good breeding ground for good riders in the past.
Absolutely, yeah, this is fabulous. You talk about guys like Phil Munt. There's also a lot of guys that have done work to establish this pre and post era of post-classic racing, and it's a credit to our Road Race Commission and all the team behind it, keeping Pro Twin racing alive. We have, well, you touched on, you've got SJ, he's in the 600 and Carl. You've also got Zach Fuller. He was a 3NZ in Pro Twin racing a couple of seasons ago. Now he's in the Superbike, so yeah, now some great names come out of here, and fabulous to see Pro Twin racing at the forefront. We've got Benno Rosendahl, he's climbed himself into the lead and is running away with this one here. So have a look at this. This is actually the this is the Suzuki SV650 KIP Racing. So this is a pre-2020 machine leading the Pro Post boys at the moment, and it's Johnny Lewis who's into second place. We've got Bruce Telford there, Nick Southwood. So it's Dave Fellows. We've lost him off the timing screen. So I think there's yellow flags in turn 1, so it could be that Dave's the one down into turn 1. So a bit of drama out of the race lead here, and it's all rolled into the hands of Ben Rosendahl with that KIP racing machine. We'll look out for Johnny Lewis. He's flying in second place. Bruce Telford. That's the update to the post racing boys there. Nick Southwood, he's on another KIP racing at Brilliant Twin. So we've got second, third and fourth in the race. They're all post 2020 Pro Twins. And then you go to Bob Irving, that'll be fifth in the race, but that's second of pre. You got Vaughan Main in there as well. Now, talking to Vaughan earlier on this weekend, and they've resurrected the Hillbilly Cup for West Auckland bragging rights, but unfortunately Alex Butson and a few others aren't making a trip this year, so it's only Nick Southwood and Vaughan Main, so they're in two different classes, but they've got a second a lap difference between the post and the pre, and the Hillbilly Cup resurrected, so it's awesome and neat to see the Pro Twin boys, and the family is as strong as ever in Pro Twin racing, so fabulous. We have 5 laps to go on this one, and Ben Rosendahl, he's flying at the moment.
All right, courtesy of Kiwi Energy Solutions, empowered for consultation, installation services, project management, pricing, subsidies, brokerage as well. So finding out all about it for heating, cooling and ventilation. If we ever thought before there was a need to worry about your power and maximising your power, you know, yes, it's never been cheap, but it also hasn't been super expensive, and the world has just been turned on its head by the energy crisis of the world. People's in the UK with paying power bills of the equivalent of $1,200 a month, you know, about $40 a day to turn your power on. You know, power is going to be something, and no, it's not cheap in New Zealand either, so making sure that you can get the most efficiency for your power. So it's Kiwi Energy Solutions, empowered, and that's exactly what they're doing, making sure that you're getting the right power for your dollar, and also your pricing and subsidies, and looking out there, Brad. Yes.
Oh yeah, we've got a bit of drama. Phil Munton, he's trackside with some steam coming off that SV650 his, so drama for Phil Munton. That's heartbreaking for him, as he was doing a great job up inside the top 8, but that's the way the cookie crumbles for him. He's got himself right off the track, and a bit of drama unfolding. We had some drama in Superbikes with drama in Pro Twin. We're looking for an excitement-filled weekend here. Round 3 of the New Zealand Superbike Championships at Mike Perro Motorsport Park here.
That's far too much steam in it, Brad. Yeah, I've felt much that as he wielding it away. He's like carrying a hot heater with him. Just as I was talking about efficiencies with power, he's lost a whole lot of power, and the bike's gone up there in a ball of steam. So hopefully it's something recoverable overnight, as he will get himself back on track for a further 2 races tomorrow, including, of course, the second of that round of racing tomorrow, being the New Zealand Grand Prix titles. Creme de la creme. We have our overall New Zealand Championship over our entire package of 6 rounds, but of course also within that we have our TT titles. They'll be held at Hampton Downs, and for the case here at Ruapuna, the GP and the Grand Prix titles up for grab for New Zealand Superbike road racing. So bad luck for Phil as he parks up. In fact, he's wheeled it all the way over to the waistcoat guys doing the crash recovery, so they don't have to move. He's brought the bike to them. He knows one thing, it's going to need a ride back to pits before it's healed up, but there's that unique sound of a Pro Twin. Of course, once upon a time, Brad, we used to have the thousands in here as well, but generally it's become that 650 class now. We've added those new Aprilias, which have been part of the drive to get more modern machinery up there as well, which is why the pre and post 2020 has been added to the field. Having not done that, I would think that our pre-2020s would have just disintegrated nearly as fast as 250 production have out of our 300 class as well. So a good thing to save a class and keep it alive with the pre and post split in our Pro Twins.
All right, a bit of an update. Ben Rosendale, he's a massive 4.7 seconds ahead of Johnny Lewis, and they're in 2 different classes. So telling stuff here from Ben Rosendale. What a wonderful performance. Former National Pro Twin champion. Was actually riding a Formula 3 bike at Manfield. So this is his first round to get some points. So he's going to do the championship the hard way this year. Then you go back to our post-2020 Pro Twins. There's 3 of them. It's Johnny Lewis ahead of Nick Southwood and Bruce Telford. But Nick Southwood, Bruce Telford, that's a great little battle. He's less than 2/10 of a second when they cross the line. Then you go back to Bob Irving and Vaughan Main. Now that's a battle in class as well, so look out for those two, as you don't know where to look. There's only 9 runners, but there's plenty of action on the track. And coming out of the business end, when Benno crosses the line, it's only going to be 2 laps to go. So this is exciting, and coming down to the crunch here.
All right, Kiwi Energy Solutions and our Pro Twin, obviously. Just a bit of a promo kind of a name for our twin cylinder. They're a unique sound, of course, although previously dominated generally by Japanese motorcycles in the form of the Suzuki and Kawasaki, which made a very good twin of this dimension, but now adding the Italian flair in there with the overseas brands as well. So nice to have an update, and we'll even add the CF Moto into it as well. So CF Moto, of course, up and coming brand, although out of China, of course, and having a 51% stake in KTM now. They're getting a lot of their rider development, a lot of their machines are now highly technically advanced, and they're making real headways in our motorsport. In fact, their MT800 adventure bike is actually the KTM 790 engine almost exactly slotted into the KTM, so it's a way for them to adventure into these markets. So whether it be road, whether it be touring, they're a fabulous little 300. What a cool little bike that is as well. I'm waiting to see somebody line that up in the 300 class as well to be in amongst the super sport. So look for the name CF Moto to flourish and drive and survive in our motorcycle world. A big Chinese company making it happen in the world of motorcycle sport, and of course they're into Moto 3 as well, Brad, so we shouldn't forget that from little CF Moto, small beginnings, but chances of big glory and a big finish to come along. Nice to see other manufacturers. We need the more of them we've got, the better for the sport to flourish and drive, and that's what people want to see. It's not just a lineup. You know, that grid for superbikes, to have 4 different makes on the front row is sensational. Not a domination by any one brand, although certainly the finish was with Kawasaki and the KMD taking a magic 1 and 3 out of that. So well done and congrats to them. But back to our Kiwi Energy Solutions Pro Twins. And Brad, that man, Ben Rosendale.
Oh, this is fabulous. It's 6.9 seconds, and he stretched it out even further on this lap around. So white flag ready and waiting. He's going to have 1 lap to go. He just needs to hang on to this one. He's in the pre-2020 class for KIP Racing, and he'll be loving this one here. This is awesome stuff. We then go back to Johnny Lewis, a legend from the South Island, Bears lover, and he is on that Aprilia twin racing machine. So he is the first of the post-2020 Pro Twins coming through. There he is crossing the line. So that's second in the race, but that's first in class, and got a comfortable margin ahead of Bruce Telford and Nick Southwood. They're locked in a fierce battle to round out that podium. So look out for that one there. And then you look to Vaughan Main and Bob Irving. They are the other podium battlers. So we're going to have the top 6 all represented on the podium, 3 from each class. This is fabulous to see, and we'll have to have a quick interview here because we've got 2 classes to get through. And at the moment, Benno Rosendale leads Vaughan Main and Bob Irving in the pre-2020, and the post-2020, Johnny Lewis leads Bruce Telford and Nick Southwood. Then you look to Jared Horn. He's a former podium place getter in this class, so he's waiting for the best to come this week, and he's in 7th place. Rob Edwards there in 8th with Sean Parker in 9th. But unfortunately for Phil Munt, he is trackside with a bit of a mechanical, and Dave Fellows a non-finish as well with a crash in turn 1. Hopefully everything A-OK for Dave, who had a massive points advantage over everyone after round 1 at Manfield. So white flag, 1 lap to go. It's been a pretty dominant display from Benno Rosendale, and it's going to feel pretty good to kick off his season with a maximum 25 points in a few corners' time.
Well, yeah, that's a good point, Brad, to mention, because we didn't score points through the Cemetery Circuit round of the Suzuki International Series. So that means that with Taupo's abandonment, that it's only been Manfield as round number 2 they've scored points. So even though we come here as round number 3, it's actually the second round for racing, and it really does see them, take a Mitch Rees advantage with 3 races at Manfield. Bang, here we are today with a 10th place. So that's been the upset. Here we are, checkered flag time, all going all the way for Ben. He'll be loving this, and great result there. Mr. Ben Rosendale out of Southbridge on the Kip Racing KSS suspension, Moto Movers, BRM Dyno Pyro, Pirelli tyres, RST Racewear AGV helmets, and Sabaki chain on the Suzuki SV650. So Ben Rosendale, number 65, to pick up the races. We're coming down to the wire pretty close there with Nick and Bruce, and you notice that Nicky had moved right over, moved further and further over, so Bruce couldn't get a slipstream advantage, so he was moving over sideways on the track. So that meant that effectively he had to go sideways to try and keep that advantage, and it allowed no slipstream for Bruce to take an advantage. Bob Irvine, who was our hot pre-2020 qualifier, and he is the second of that lineup, following Ben Rosendale for the second. So as you've pointed out, Brad, we're going to go to the top 6. We're going to go 3 and 3. So 3 are pre-2020 model bikes, and 3 of them are 3 post-2020 bikes. So we'll be down trackside in a moment for the prize giving.
Yes, it is. It's a bit of a tongue twister. Pre and post and pro twins. It's all on here. So Benno Rosendale gets the win over Johnny Lewis, but he'll also get the win because he's in the separate class. So 1 and 2, 1 and 1 in their respective classes. Nick Southerwood, Bruce Telfer, 2 very experienced campaigners in New Zealand road racing. They are doing a great job there. So it's 2nd and 3rd for them. Bob Irving and Vaughan Main, 5th and 6th in that race, but that's 2nd and 3rd for them in the pre-2020 category. Jared Horn's going to come home in 7th place. That's 4th for the pre-2020s. Rob Edwards is home in 8th, and that's 4th for the post-2020. As we check out the updates on our NV Motorcycles leaderboard. Thank you to NV Motorcycles bringing us this action on our Ctas coverage. Thank you so much for joining us wherever you are in the world. It's an absolute treat to be here at round 3 of our New Zealand Superbike Championships from Mike Miro Motorsport Park. On Grand Prix weekend, we've got our Grand Prix races for all our respected classes this weekend, and there'll be some exciting action. So we're going to cross down to Neil in a minute, who's going to have a double podium. It's a full-on 6-rider show, and excitement to the max as our Kiwi Energy Solutions Pro Twin class. Well, there's 2 classes in one, our pre-2020 machines and our post-2020 machines, and it's been won by Ben Rosendale, who's actually on one of the pre-2020 machines. So that's a wonderful performance, and we'll cross down to Neil, who will have our double Pro Twins podium.
Well, great to have our podium down here under the Pirelli banner, and hopefully to get that helmet off for one. All right, opportunity now to join us up here. Thank you indeed. Get those caps on. Congratulations, Vaughan. How you feeling?
Yeah, good, eh? It's good fun out there. Good to be out with the boys again, and they're awesome dudes to ride with, and it's been an awesome day.
All right, what about track conditions? How were they?
Beautiful. Yeah. Dried out, so I'm happy as. Yeah.
All right, thank you very much. Well done, Vaughan. Here we go with Bob. An opportunity to get Bob up here. First of all, Ben had made break loose, but hey, you got there for a second in the class.
Yeah, no, I was happy with that one. First time on the box. I went out full wet, so that was probably not the best choice, but managed just to bring it home. Had a good battle with Vaughan, so overall it was a good race. Happy with that one.
Well done indeed. Look at the smile on his face. Bob tells the story. All right, waiting up here with Ben at the moment, and an opportunity to get him here trackside. First of all, a lucky break for you with Dave to go, but you'd have hunted him down anyway, Ben, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I was actually just looking for a way past him through the infield. There was I had a bit more pace than him through the S's and that, and he'd pull away from me on the straight, but I was able to pull him back, and I was just buying my time a little bit, trying to suss out where to get past him. And fortunate for me, hopefully he's all good. But stoked with the win. Like a lot of time and effort, and beat the Aprilias. To be fair, is quite a good feeling.
Great to see. Hey, congratulations and well deserved. So there we go. That's our pre-group. Let's have our post-group up here now. So keen to look out for them. Here they are. Yeah, Johnny, here we go with this new feeling in a new class. What's it like?
Oh, it was a whole lot of fun. There was just no water out there. so that made it a little bit difficult, but hey, you live and learn. So yeah, no, it was a great wee bike, whole lot of fun, really. So, yeah.
Great to see you in it. Well run. All right, getting the other guys up here at the moment and looking out for Bruce. He's got himself here as well. First of all, a not so young guy, but how you feeling?
Not too bad at all, mate. No, it's all good.
All right, indeed. Hey, Dylan Pep shows you up a little bit with some of the big bike racing, but there's never a dull day for Bruce to go racing?
No, there's not. It's something I've sort of been looking forward to doing for a bit. I've been helping the son out, and he said, hey, Dad, get back into it. So I took his word for it and did it. So, yeah, loving it.
All right, track conditions for you, weren't too bad?
Not ideal with wets on, so yeah, it was a bit slippery and greasy, but no, it is what it is.
Well done, great to see. Here we go. All right, so an opportunity in our third one to take us on here as well now. So great opportunity. We've been looking out for this group. Congratulations, Nick. How you feeling?
Good. It's a new time on this bike and it's absolutely phenomenal. I went up on the wrong setup, but hey, you got to go out and still have a go.
Hey, you've been a long-time supporter of Pro Twins. Why choose a new weapon? Do you want to keep growing with the class?
Well, no, it's the actual bike I'm going to be riding on the Old Man, so it's probably best to get a bit of a ride on it now to work it out.
Yeah, great story. All right, how was Ruapuna today?
Ruapuna was a bit slippery, went out on the wrong tyres, but, you know, this place is fantastic, and thanks to the Canterbury Motorcycle Club for putting it on.
Yeah, it is a great story. Hey, how many years you been road racing now, Nick? I've known you for 1 or 2, and I'm being polite about it, but, mate, you've got a good story to tell.
Yeah, probably about 18 years now, so it's quite a while.
Right, why choose this new bike? Is this still your favourite class? Well, you know, you've had an opportunity to ride a few others, but is Pro Twins the best?
Oh, Pro Twins is the best by far. It's so easy.
Great to ride. Hey, well done. So there's Nick Southwood joining our lineup as well. Thank you, Nick. So there we go with our new mix of our Pro Twin class with our pre-2020 and post-2020 and 2 podiums out there at the moment. Coming back with more great racing on our program next.